The movement of a canoe is a magic compounded of distance, adventure, solitude, and peace, says American writer Sigurd Orson. Canoeing and kayaking, in the way people know it, are popular in Europe and North America, but still only emerging in many other parts of the world. Unbeknownst to many, China has a strong canoeing tradition, the dragon boat race, now a demonstration sport at the Paris Olympic Games. What are the highlights of canoe and kayaking in Paris so far? How have Chinese athletes been faring? And after showcasing in Paris, when will dragon boat race become a formal sport for competition in the Olympics? I'm pleased to be joined from Paris by Thomas Konietzko, President of the International Canoe Federation, or ICF. Mr. Konietzko, it's good to see you again and welcome to The Point. First of all, have there been new grounds that have been broken in the canoeing events this time in Paris in terms of participation, performance or public activation?
Yes, we have breaking a lot of new ground here during the Olympic Games, but not only here in Paris, during the whole season and during the last years. We could experience here very exciting events. We could introduce in the games new events. We had full grandstands over the first 10 days of our competition, and I'm sure also during the last 4 days we will have full grandstands. Canoeing is becoming a more and more popular sport around the world, popular by the audience, but also by a lot of governments, national federations, because we can allocate 16 Olympic medals. So we have here 5 continents on the start line, and until today 5 continents could manage to reach a final, and 3 continents could win medals. That was a really great achievement, but among others we have here 239 athletes from 57 countries from 5 continents. First time we have gender equality. That means the same number of female and male athletes, but Olympic Games here in Paris are more, we are following and adapting the slogan, the games are wide open. So we want to use the Olympic Games to attract new fans for our sport. That's why we open alongside the Olympic competitions a canoeing village close to the athletes village, and we are offering canoe activities for audience, for fans, in dragon boats, on stand-up paddle boats or on recreational boats. So as a global sport we want to attract still more audience, still more fans with our sport in general, but also with our competitions.
For those of us who haven't followed the event so closely, could you share with us some of the highlights of the event so far?
So we had in the first 10 days our whitewater events on a whitewater channel, 4 Olympic events in slalom, and for the first time, 2 Olympic events in kayak cross. Kayak cross was introduced as a new discipline in 2015, and since then it becomes one of our most exciting event and discipline. Kayak cross is a head-to-head race, 4 athletes at the same time starting on top of a channel and has to finish first or second on the end and have to manage some obstacles. So and since we introduced this sport, we could gain new friends, and especially here during the Olympic Games we got so many feedback from fans around the world, and all this footage is going viral, and we never had so much attention as with this new format. And so we closed our whitewater competitions. Now we are in the middle of our sprint, traditional floodwater competitions. Chinese are good, by the way.
Tell us a bit more about the kayak cross, because it's making its Olympic debut in Paris this time, and it's been dubbed as adrenaline-packed whitewater event. What's so special about the event? What makes it go viral?
There are so many features makes this event so special. It's a new innovative event. It's exciting. it is easy to understand for spectators. If there one is randomly switching and watching, he will stay and remain watch this event because he can understand how the rules are working, so he can understand what's going on, and so we can capturing a lot of new fans and audiences. Of course, head-to-head races are sometimes unpredictable, but this is part of the show, and idea was to develop an event which is more a show and a combination of skills which athletes need to manage whitewater, but also to deliver unexpected show for audiences.
Let's focus on China a bit. So Chinese Xu Shixiao and Sun Mengya are defending their titles in the women's canoe double 500 meters. They have advanced to the semi-finals by now, and Chinese men's team Liu Hao and Ji Bo-wen have gone into the semi-finals as well, and they clocked their Olympic best. What do you make of Team China's performance so far? Are we going to see a stronger China performance very soon in this traditionally European-dominated event?
I don't think it's right to say our events are still European dominated. Of course, you are right. A couple of years ago, most of the medals went to European countries. But at latest with Tokyo Games, where medals went to 4 different continents, to 14 different countries, we could broke the European dominance in sprint. And this is important because we are a global sport, and it is part of our strategy as leadership in International Canoe Federation to capturing all markets. And it's more important for us to become more popular in the Asian market and on the American market. And that's why I'm happy with performance of Chinese team. They went smoothly through heats, through semifinals, and I'm almost sure that they will achieve the same or nearly same result as they could achieve in Tokyo with 3 medals, 1 gold. And I hope personally to make our sport still more popular in China, that they can finally finish with more goals as only with 1.
Speaking of China, you traveled to the country before the Asian Games in Hangzhou last year and also earlier this year too in Beijing. And we actually met in person while you were in Beijing before this past time. What impressed you the most about Chinese canoeing program?
So Chinese young generation of paddlers are capturing a lot of attention across the world's paddling community, because China is developing grassroots programs to encouraging new young paddlers in almost all provinces, and that's already paid off. For example, recently I went to Junior World Championship in Plovdiv, and China could finish first in the medals table of the junior category with 6 gold medals. And so I'm sure that future for Chinese paddlers looks very strong. And that's why we are traveling so often to China to develop together with CCA, Chinese Canoe Associations, programs to make our sport still more popular. But it's not only directed on high performance sport. China is a country of water, rivers, lakes, and so we want to make canoeing more popular, also on the recreational side. I know that more and more Chinese doing individual sport, jogging, cycling, and we want to encourage more to start with paddling. And if more people paddling on a recreational level, we will have more young talents which want to do it on a high performance level. So I'm really satisfied with the performance of Chinese athletes, and I'm almost sure China will dominate in the future our sport.
Well, if you include dragon boat, we actually have a very long history in terms of canoeing, and actually not just in China but also in other parts of the world where dragon boat racing or similar races have been popular as part of the tradition actually. And I know that dragon boat racing is also part of the demonstration event in Paris. It made its debut 3 years ago in Tokyo. So many Chinese are asking, what are the chances of Dragon Boat becoming a competition, an official competition event during the Olympics? Could you shed some light on that?
Yes, I can. But first of all, we are representing as International Canoe Federation a wide range of paddling activities, from freestyle until dragon boat and stand-up paddling. And dragon boat is playing an important role in our portfolio because this is a traditional discipline which combined a lot of things which are important for our sport. It's not only the performance, it's also part of the culture to doing sport together in a traditional boat, to experience paddling together. Togetherness is one of the important topics I want to highlight, but also inclusion. So everyone can do dragon boat on a recreational level, and the best can do it on a performance level. And that's what we want to show with the inclusion of dragon boat as a demonstration sport in the games to a wider public, which opportunities dragon boat has to make our sport more popular. And of course we want to promote dragon boat also as a high performance sport. Next year in Chengdu during the World Games, dragon boat will be a part of the official sports program. We will have this year still in Yichang a dragon boat World Cup where teams can qualify for Chengdu next year. Yeah, and so I hope that a lot of audiences, and we expect during the races here 24,000 spectators, will become more engaged in dragon boat and understand a little bit more the history and the importance of dragon boat. And on the end of a long way, of a marathon, maybe one day can stay to include dragon boat as a performance sport in the games. We are working on that together with China and other Asian federations.
Well, fingers crossed, we'll keep a close watch on that. Finally, the ICF is shortlisted for the Deloitte Climate Action Awards, highlighting its commitment to sustainability. What could you tell us about that? What initiatives did you take to honor this commitment?
You know, we are a sport who's directly impacted by climate change. Our athletes around the world can realize how our environment change, how many floods or droughts we had during the last years, which makes it more difficult to do our sport. That's why we are very sensitive to protect our environment, and that's why sustainability is on top of our strategy, one of the most important points. And that's why we are doing so much to reduce our carbon dioxide footprint, to clean our waterways around the world with several activities. That's why we are working together, for example, with Alibaba Cloud, which will help us to measure the carbon dioxide footprint of our sport and our competition. And that's why we apply to the Deloitte Climate Award, supported by the IUC, with one of our projects to measure and to reduce the impact of our competitions and to introduce measures to achieve that. And we are very happy that IUC and Deloitte announced that we are shortlisted as International Canoe Federation for this award.
Thomas Konietzko, President of the International Canoe Federation, or ICF. With that, we come to the end of this edition of The Point with me, Liu Xin. As always, you can follow me on Facebook and X using the handle Liu Xin in Beijing. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. You've got The Point.